God says, "My child, come closer and listen with a quiet heart, because today I am revealing something that your spirit has sensed for a long time but your mind has struggled to understand." Do not rush through these words. Stay with me until the end, because every sentence carries a piece of the answer you have been praying for. The hidden truth is not coming to frighten you. It is coming to set you free. There have been moments when you wondered why everything around you suddenly felt different. You noticed certain doors closing without explanation. You noticed strange delays, unexpected silence, and people acting in ways you never imagined. You questioned yourself, wondering if you had done something wrong. My child, I watched every tear you tried to hide. I heard every silent prayer that never left your lips. I saw every sleepless night when your heart searched for peace while your mind searched for answers. I was there before the confusion began, and I will still be there when the truth is fully revealed. Do not skip this message, because something important is waiting for you. Stay until the end, because what I am about to uncover has the power to change the way you see your entire journey. There has been a hidden plan unfolding behind the scenes, but it is not stronger than my purpose for your life. What others try to keep in darkness cannot remain hidden forever when my light begins to shine. I have already started exposing what needed to be exposed. You may not see every detail today, but the signs are becoming impossible to ignore. Every delay carried a lesson. Every disappointment protected you from something your eyes could not yet recognize. Every unanswered question prepared your heart for a greater understanding. My child, stop blaming yourself for battles that were never yours to carry. I know how deeply you desired honesty, love, peace, and commitment. I know you hoped that every promise spoken to you would become reality. But sometimes I allow hidden motives to reveal themselves slowly, because sudden truth can overwhelm an unprepared heart. I prepare you before I reveal. I strengthen you before I uncover. I heal you before I restore. That is why you are still standing today. Others expected you to break, yet my hand remained upon your life. They believed confusion would weaken your faith, but instead it quietly built your strength. They thought uncertainty would make you lose hope, but every difficult season brought you closer to me. My child, there were conversations you never heard and decisions you never witnessed, yet nothing escaped my sight. I watched every moment with perfect clarity. Nothing has ever been hidden from me. Even when you could not understand why events unfolded the way they did, I was already guiding your future toward a destination far greater than you imagined. Stay until the end, because something beautiful is waiting for you beyond the mystery. The story is not ending where your fear expected it to end. It is beginning where my promise starts to rise. There are people who judged you without knowing your heart. There were voices that misunderstood your intentions. There were moments when truth seemed buried beneath misunderstanding, but truth has a way of rising at exactly the right time. You do not have to fight every battle yourself. You do not have to defend your name before every person. I am the one who brings hidden things into the light. I am the one who opens doors no human hand can close. My child, let go of the burden of trying to control every outcome. Place your trust in me once again. I know the path ahead even when you cannot see beyond today's uncertainty. Every chapter of your life has been carefully counted. Every prayer has been carefully collected. Every tear has been carefully remembered. Nothing has been wasted. Even your pain has become part of the testimony I am preparing. Do not let temporary confusion convince you that I have forgotten you. I have not forgotten your dreams. I have not forgotten your prayers. I have not forgotten the promises I placed inside your heart. The hidden truth that is coming into the light will not destroy your future. It will clear the path for it. Sometimes I remove illusions before I release blessings. Sometimes I expose false expectations before I establish lasting peace. My child, you have reached a season where clarity is becoming stronger than confusion. Stay faithful a little longer. Keep your heart open. Keep your spirit listening. The answers you seek are closer than they appear. Something is shifting even now. What once seemed impossible is beginning to move. What once felt locked is beginning to open. What once remained silent is preparing to speak. I have already gone before you. I have already prepared what you cannot yet see. Do not fear the truth, because truth guided by my love always leads to freedom. Continue walking with me. Continue trusting me. Continue believing even when circumstances seem slow. The day is coming when you will look back and realize that every delay carried hidden protection, every closed door carried hidden mercy, and every unanswered question carried hidden wisdom. My child, remain close to me because this is only the beginning of what I am about to reveal. Something greater is still ahead, and when the full picture is finally uncovered, you will understand why I asked you to trust me even when you could not understand me. God says, my child, remain close to me because what I am revealing now is the part your heart has been waiting to understand. Do not allow fear to interrupt your faith, and do not leave before this message is complete, because every moment is preparing you for a deeper revelation. For a long time you believed that the silence around you meant nothing was changing, but I tell you the silence was never empty. It was filled with my unseen work. While you were praying, I was arranging what your eyes could not see. While you were waiting, I was moving circumstances that no human strength could control. While you questioned whether your future had stopped, I was quietly placing every missing piece exactly where it belonged. My child, there are seasons when I work in ways that seem invisible, yet those are often the moments when the greatest transformation begins. I know you wanted immediate answers. I know you wished everything would become clear overnight. But wisdom grows in the waiting, and strength is formed in the moments when faith chooses to believe before sight confirms anything. Stay until the end because something beautiful is unfolding that your present understanding cannot fully measure. The hidden truth is no longer remaining hidden. Every day another layer is being removed. Every day another illusion loses its power. Every day another step brings you closer to the life I promised long before you ever realized it existed. Do not measure your progress only by what you can hold in your hands. Measure it by the peace returning to your spirit, by the courage growing inside your heart, and by the hope that refuses to disappear no matter how difficult yesterday seemed. Those are the signs that my presence has never left you. My child, there were moments when disappointment whispered that your story had ended. There were voices that tried to convince you that your best days belonged to the past. Yet I tell you today that your greatest chapter has not even begun. I never called you to live in endless confusion. I called you to walk in truth, and truth always arrives at the perfect time. What once appeared permanent was only temporary. What once looked impossible was only waiting for my appointed moment. You have worried about things that I have already settled in places you cannot yet see. You have feared doors that I have already chosen to close for your protection. You have cried over delays that later will become the very reason you give thanks. One day you will understand why certain paths disappeared. One day you will recognize that what felt like rejection was actually divine redirection. I was leading you away from what would have exhausted your spirit and guiding you toward what would finally bring lasting peace. My child, never mistake my silence for my absence. Even when you could not hear my voice clearly, my hand remained upon your life. Even when your prayers seemed unanswered, I was answering them in ways too deep for your present understanding. Every unseen battle was known to me. Every hidden burden was carried by me. Every silent tear reached me before it ever reached the ground. I have counted them all. I have forgotten none of them. That is why you must not allow bitterness to enter your heart. Bitterness blinds the soul, but forgiveness opens the door for healing. I know forgiving is not always easy. I know releasing pain feels impossible when memories still ache. Yet remember that forgiveness does not erase wisdom. It simply frees your heart from carrying a weight I never intended you to bear forever. I am teaching you to walk lighter because where I am leading you, old burdens cannot travel with you. Stay with me a little longer because the next season requires a stronger heart, a peaceful mind, and an unshaken spirit. My child, many blessings are delayed not because I refuse to give them, but because I love you enough to prepare you before they arrive. A blessing received without wisdom can become a burden. A promise received before maturity can become confusion. That is why I shape your character before I release greater responsibility. I strengthen your faith before I open greater opportunities. I deepen your understanding before I answer your biggest prayers. Nothing about my timing is accidental. Everything has purpose. Everything has meaning. Even now I am arranging connections that will encourage you instead of draining you. I am removing influences that quietly stole your peace without you realizing it. I am surrounding you with people whose presence reflects kindness, honesty, and genuine care. Not everyone who enters your life is meant to remain forever, but everyone teaches something that moves you closer to my purpose. Do not fear what leaves when I am preparing something better to arrive. My child, the future I have prepared is not built upon fear. It is built upon hope. It is built upon wisdom. It is built upon the quiet confidence that comes from knowing I walk beside you every single day. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not walking alone. Every sunrise reminds you that I still create new beginnings. Every breath reminds you that my mercy continues. Every opportunity reminds you that your story is still being written. Refuse to let yesterday define tomorrow. Refuse to let disappointment become your identity. You belong to hope, not despair. You belong to purpose, not confusion. You belong to my promises, not your fears. Lift your eyes beyond the circumstances surrounding you today. There is more ahead than behind you. There is greater joy waiting than the sorrow you have already endured. There is deeper peace waiting than the anxiety you once carried. Continue trusting me even when you cannot see the entire path, because I already stand at the end of the journey, preparing to welcome you into everything I promised. My child, hold tightly to faith, remain patient in the waiting, and keep your heart open to my guidance, because what I am bringing into your life will not simply answer your prayers, it will remind you that I was faithful through every chapter, every delay, every uncertainty, and every hidden season. Soon you will look back with grateful eyes and realize that even the moments you once questioned became the foundation of the beautiful future I was building for you all along, and when that day comes your heart will finally whisper with complete confidence that my plan was always greater than your fear, my wisdom was always deeper than your understanding, and my love never stopped carrying you even for a single moment. God says, my child, do not grow weary now because you have come too far to allow doubt to steal the peace I have been building within you. Stay with me until the end of this message because another layer of understanding is about to unfold. There are moments in every journey when it appears as though nothing is happening, yet those are often the moments when heaven is moving most powerfully behind the scenes. I have never been absent from your life. Even when your prayers were whispered through tears, I was listening. Even when your faith felt weak, my strength continued to carry you. Even when your heart questioned whether the promise would ever become reality, I had already begun preparing the answer long before the question reached your lips. My child, never believe that delay means denial. I do not forget what I have spoken over your life. Every promise remains alive in my hands. Every blessing I have prepared still carries your name. Every step you have taken in obedience has been recorded, even the ones no one else noticed. There were days when you believed your quiet acts of kindness went unseen. There were nights when you wondered whether your sacrifices had any purpose. I saw them all. Nothing done with a sincere heart is ever wasted in my kingdom. The world may overlook faithfulness, but I never do. Stay until the end because what I am revealing now will help you understand why certain doors had to remain closed. You once asked me to remove every obstacle, but instead I strengthened your spirit to overcome them. You asked for immediate clarity, yet I chose to give you wisdom that would remain with you for a lifetime. You prayed for comfort, and I gave you courage. You prayed for answers, and I gave you patience. You prayed for peace, and I taught you to trust me even before circumstances changed. That is how lasting faith is formed. My child, the hidden work inside your heart has become greater than the visible circumstances around your life. You are no longer the same person who began this journey. Your compassion has grown deeper. Your understanding has become gentler. Your faith has become steadier. The very trials you once feared have quietly become the foundation of the strength you now carry. Do not underestimate what I have already accomplished within you. Sometimes the greatest miracle is not what changes around you, but what changes inside you. I have been healing wounds you stopped talking about long ago. I have been restoring hope in places where disappointment once lived. I have been replacing fear with quiet confidence, one day at a time. You may not always notice these changes because they happen gently, but they are real. They are lasting. They are preparing you for everything that lies ahead. My child, I know there are still questions resting in your heart. I know there are moments when you wish I would reveal the entire path all at once. But if you saw everything today, you would miss the beauty of walking beside me tomorrow. Faith is not built by seeing every answer. Faith is built by taking the next step while knowing I am already waiting ahead. Trust that my direction is always motivated by love. I never lead you toward confusion. I never guide you into hopelessness. Even the valleys you have crossed carried hidden purpose. Even the mountains that seemed impossible to climb taught you endurance you could not have learned anywhere else. My child, release the need to compare your journey with anyone else's. I write every story differently because every heart has a unique calling. What I am preparing for another person is not the same as what I am preparing for you. Do not become discouraged because someone else appears to move faster. Their timing is not your timing. Their assignment is not your assignment. I know exactly when your season will bloom, and when it does, nothing will be able to prevent what I have already established. Stay with me because the next chapter will require gratitude instead of fear. Learn to celebrate the small signs of progress. Every peaceful morning is a reminder of my mercy. Every unexpected opportunity is evidence of my guidance. Every kind word you receive is a reflection of my care. Do not overlook these quiet miracles while waiting for larger ones. I often reveal my love through ordinary moments before extraordinary blessings arrive. My child, the future before you is brighter than the memories behind you. Refuse to allow yesterday's disappointments to become tomorrow's expectations. You are stepping into a season where wisdom will replace confusion, where hope will become stronger than fear, and where peace will speak louder than anxiety. Continue walking with humility. Continue choosing kindness even when others misunderstand you. Continue forgiving even when it feels difficult. Continue believing even when results seem delayed. These choices shape the life I am preparing for you. You are becoming the person capable of carrying the blessing you once prayed for. Do not lose heart now. The journey has meaning. The waiting has purpose. The lessons have value. Soon you will recognize connections that today appear unrelated. You will understand why certain conversations ended, why certain opportunities disappeared, and why certain paths unexpectedly changed direction. Looking back, you will see my fingerprints on every chapter. You will discover that what once looked like uncertainty was actually careful guidance. What once felt like silence was quiet protection. What once seemed like loss became the beginning of something greater than you imagined. My child, keep your heart anchored in hope because my promises are not temporary emotions. They are lasting truth. I remain faithful even when circumstances change. I remain constant when everything around you feels uncertain. I remain your refuge when fear attempts to enter your thoughts. Rest in that assurance today. Lift your eyes above temporary struggles and remember who walks beside you. I have never abandoned you, and I never will. The path ahead may still contain moments you do not fully understand, but it also contains joy you have not yet experienced, peace you have not yet imagined, and opportunities that will remind you how carefully I have been guiding your life all along. Continue trusting me, my child. Continue listening for my voice. Continue placing your future into my hands each day, because the story is still unfolding, and the most beautiful chapters are not behind you, they are waiting just ahead, where my perfect love, my perfect wisdom, and my perfect timing will meet you in ways that will leave your heart filled with gratitude, quiet confidence, and an unshakable understanding that I was working for your good through every single moment of this journey. God says, my child, as this message comes to its final moments, I do not want your heart to remember only the mystery that surrounded your journey. I want you to remember my faithfulness that carried you through every unanswered question, every unexpected delay, and every silent season. Stay with me until the very last word, because what I am about to place within your spirit is greater than any fear that has ever stood before you. The hidden truth was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to prepare you for the life I designed before you ever took your first breath. I have watched you grow through moments that no one else understood. I have seen you choose kindness when bitterness would have been easier. I have seen you remain faithful when giving up seemed like the simplest path. Every choice you made to trust me became another stone laid upon the foundation of your future. My child, never believe that your waiting has been meaningless. Every moment carried purpose. Every delay shaped wisdom. Every disappointment strengthened discernment. Every closed door redirected your steps toward something that would bring lasting peace instead of temporary satisfaction. There were times when you asked why certain people walked away, why certain conversations suddenly ended, and why certain opportunities disappeared without explanation. Today I tell you that not every departure was a loss. Some departures were my protection. Some endings were my mercy. Some unanswered prayers became your greatest blessings because I could already see what you could not. I knew what would strengthen your spirit and what would slowly drain it. That is why I guided you even when my direction did not make sense to you. My child, you are entering a new season where fear no longer deserves the loudest voice inside your heart. Let hope become louder. Let faith become stronger. Let peace become your daily companion. Stop carrying burdens I never asked you to carry. Release every regret into my hands. Release every fear about tomorrow. Release every memory that still tries to convince you that your future must resemble your past. It does not. I am doing a new thing within you. The person you are becoming is stronger than the person who first began this journey. Your heart has become wiser. Your spirit has become calmer. Your understanding has become deeper. The storms that once frightened you now remind you that I remained beside you every single time. My child, do not allow the opinions of others to determine the value I have already placed upon your life. I created you with purpose before anyone ever spoke your name. I called you before anyone recognized your potential. I loved you before you learned how to love yourself. Nothing another person says can cancel what I have spoken over your future. Walk with quiet confidence, not because life will always be easy, but because my presence will always remain with you. Remember that every sunrise is another reminder that my mercy has been renewed once again. Every breath is another reminder that your story continues. Every opportunity is another invitation to trust me one more step. Do not become discouraged if everything does not change overnight. Lasting transformation grows steadily, just as a seed quietly becomes a mighty tree. Be patient with the process I have designed for you. Celebrate every small victory. Give thanks for every lesson. Treasure every moment of peace because these are signs that your soul is learning to rest in my promises instead of temporary circumstances. My child, the days ahead will bring opportunities you never expected. They will bring conversations that restore hope, moments that renew your courage, and blessings that remind you I have been working all along. Some answers will arrive gently. Others will surprise you completely. Yet through every new chapter, never forget the lessons you learned in the waiting. Keep your heart humble. Keep your spirit thankful. Keep your eyes fixed upon me rather than upon temporary distractions. There will always be voices competing for your attention, but my voice will continue leading you toward truth, peace, wisdom, and lasting joy. Whenever uncertainty returns, remember this moment. Remember that I promised never to leave you. Remember that I promised to guide your steps. Remember that I promised to work all things together for good according to my purpose. Those promises do not expire because circumstances become difficult. They remain true through every season of life. My child, forgive quickly, love deeply, speak gently, and walk faithfully. Do not allow resentment to occupy the place where peace belongs. Do not allow fear to replace hope. Do not allow disappointment to silence gratitude. Every day you choose faith, your heart grows stronger. Every day you choose hope, darkness loses another piece of its influence. Every day you choose love, my light shines more clearly through your life. I know there are dreams you still carry quietly inside your heart. I know there are prayers you continue whispering when no one else is listening. Keep praying. Keep believing. Keep trusting. My timing is never careless. What I prepare carefully becomes a blessing that endures. The future I have written for you is not built upon confusion but upon purpose. It is not built upon fear but upon hope. It is not built upon uncertainty but upon my everlasting faithfulness. One day you will look back upon every chapter of this journey and understand why I asked you to wait, why I asked you to trust, and why I asked you to remain faithful even when the road seemed unclear. On that day your heart will overflow with gratitude because you will finally see that I was weaving together every detail into something more beautiful than you could have imagined. The tears you cried were never forgotten.